What is up, everybody? I am Legend, and in today's video I'm going to be showing some love to my rappers out there and showing you guys how to record rap vocals and make them sound more professional in whatever DAW you're using. I will be using GarageBand. Let's go. So I have plenty of videos on how to record vocals and harmonies for singers out there, but I've been getting asked a lot to do a video about how to record rap vocals, and pretty much the process is exactly the same, but there are a few differences and a few different techniques you can use, different ways to record your rap vocals. But the thing is, with rap vocals, it's a lot easier to do and to record than singing vocals because you don't have to stack as many times. You don't have a whole bunch of harmonies. You literally just have one person rapping, and if you choose to add stacks to it, you can. And I'm going to show you exactly how I would do it and how I have done it before in the past. So the song I'm going to be working with today is called Cheat Codes. This is a song that I actually previously just released a couple of weeks ago. If you guys want to check that out, it'll be linked down below. One way to record rap vocals is to just do it the way that I classify as the Kanye way, or the new Kanye way, because he is the person that does this the most, and maybe Drake as well. They normally just record one vocal in all of their songs. There's no stacks, there's no ad-libs, there's none of that crazy stuff. Like, there's just one vocal throughout the entire thing, one lead, and that's it. And this is the way that I think is most common, especially in today's rap. And in my style, this is the style that I typically like to do the most, and that's the style featured in this song. So it sounds like this.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philip's house. I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie. I said, you know that nigga wanna go down.
So it's literally just one vocal, but it's getting the message across because of the delivery and the effects that I added on top of it. Another style of rap vocals would be to add a lot of ad-libs. And there is one rapper in particular who used to be a singer, still is a singer, that does a lot of this. One of my favorite rappers, one of my favorite artists, Ryan Leslie. If you guys don't know who Ryan Leslie is, he's an amazing producer. He's produced for people like Beyonce and Kanye West. He's been featured on a bunch of their different projects and things like that. But his raps is a great example of this next style of rap, where you record the lead vocal, but you do a lot of ad-libbing in between. You do a lot of interjections and throwing in like random words and repeating something here, but no stacking, just ad-libs. So I want to show an example here. Hopefully I won't get claimed.
We finna take the club back. The thrill ball, girl, we about to get the love back.
You hear like the different things he's saying in between his lines and the pauses that he has in between the actual lines that he's written in the song. So it's like, I'm about to get the love back. And he does this a lot in all of his songs. I think this is a style that a lot of people say he kind of took from Jim Jones. Another example of ad-libbing while you're rapping to kind of add a little bit more flair instead of just that one lead vocal.
Yo, I moved from the futon, now I'm in the mansion. Took over the game, hold that shit for ransom. Never forget the.
So like every single pause and break in between his lines, he's always adding something, but that something is sitting in the background. That's another style that you can use. But then there's also the last style, which was mostly popularized back in like the early 2000s and all the time before that, like the 90s and stuff, when people used to record their raps, and I was one of them. They did a lot of stacking. So the phrases that they wanted to really emphasize, a lot like singing, a lot like the singing stacks. And this is where I kind of got it from, because I started as a singer, then I started recording rap within my songs, my singing songs. So I would stack 4 times, just like singing, and do the panning, usually the end of a phrase. So if I'm saying something, yo, I started in the futon, now I'm in the mansion, I would stack, now I'm in the mansion 4 times. Took over the game, all that for ransom, and I would stack all that for ransom 4 times. So it's just like you're trying to emphasize certain parts of the song, certain lines that you want to be heard. Usually it's the rhyming word or the second line in like a phrase, basically. So I'll show you an example of this if I can find the rap. And this song is my song. This song came out in 2008. I wrote this probably in like 2006, 2007. So be a little bit lenient with me here. This is my first album I ever released 11 years ago.
January, when he told me that I was so strong, came nothing for me that I was never quite what you think, but I would be classified as the missing link. He said I find out just who I am. It's like semi-am, instead it's E-I-am. He said I saved 2 million souls in Japan, and now that's.
I'm having flashbacks rapping my own song. If you listen closer, you can hear where I stacked and panned the vocals that of the lines that I wanted to emphasize, which is usually the second line in a rap phrase. So you say one line and then you say the second line, then you say the next line and you say the second line. So it's rhyming with each other, but the rhyming one is being stacked.
Be classified as the missing link. He said I find out just who I am. It's like semi-am, status E-I-am. He said I saved 2 million souls in Japan, and now that's my plan, and I'ma do my dance.
This beat is so dope. I don't care what nobody says. I made that a long time ago. It's still dope beat. But anyway, so stacking your raps. This is the third way, and one of the most common ways in the earlier days. So I'm gonna come in here and show you. I mean, obviously I already recorded the single lead. So this is method number one. Just basically going in here, inputting a compressed vocal, lead vocal, whatever your settings are gonna be, and it's just gonna sound like basically one.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down.
I mean, there's nothing to really explain about how to record one vocal. You just record one vocal and then basically mix and master. I'll save that for a separate video, and EQ for a separate video, but this is, you just record one line. But as far as the stacking or the ad-libs, so in this case, let's go ahead and use these tracks here to act as the ad-libs. So actually we'll use this track here to record some Ryan Leslie ad-libs. So whatever effects I have on this track, I would just take this, Command D for duplicate, so it duplicates this to the second track, and then I would just start recording, and whatever breaks are in the lyrics, I'm going to add some kind of ad-lib in there. I'm going to add something that adds an inflection, that adds a little bit something to tie in the phrases, if I can find any. But let's go through and find out.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down.
This is a little bit tough because I'm always saying something in this song. It's mostly like yeahs that I can actually, because what you want to do is when you record the ad-libs, you don't want to put so much into the ad-libs that you're distracting from what you're actually saying. So that's why this case is not the best case, but I can still throw in some yeahs and some things like that.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down.
We'll just go with what we have. So that was a little bit weak. I will admit that was a little bit weak, but I'm freestyling for the sake of the video. We have all the same settings as the original track, and we have our ad-libs here. What you want to do is make sure that it's not as loud as the lead. You want to make sure that it's sitting more in the background, and one way to do that obviously is to turn the volume down first.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side?
That sounds pretty good. That actually sounds pretty good. So I took the volume down. The regular volume is at about 2.5 decibels. I took the ad-libs down to -1 decibel, since it's just like background type stuff. That is like the main way to kind of like help with the recording process of the ad-libs and make it fit better. And this is like a mixing thing as well, but also you can add different plugins to kind of make it sit.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah.
So it's a lot going on in this particular rap. So this again is not the best of examples, but you get the point. Fill in the blank spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how this sounds if I not only turn down the volume, but you can mess with the EQ a little bit so that it's blatantly like not supposed to be a part of the lead. You want to separate it from the lead, so you can add more treble, you can add more bass. Like if you want to give it some character and maybe give it a reverb and make it a little bit more muffled, I'll show you just what I would do. So let's just mess around here.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down. Cause he was sneaking peeks all up on that Instagram. You couldn't do it sober, so you choked a gram, probably smoked a gram.
So right now I'm adding a delay to see if it'll kind of give it a little bit more character.
Yeah. Got a question.
I like that.
Peeking.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just messing around with these effects and CLA vocals to give it more of like a telephone sounding feel, like one of those types of effects. I like the way that sounds by itself. In addition to this, what I'm going to do is I want to make it sound a little bit more muffled, a little bit more filtered. So I'm going to add a low pass filter by Apple.
Yeah. Got a question.
I kind of like that.
These Club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that?
That's maybe too muffled, so let's bring it up a little bit.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said.
So a little, something like that. It sounds pretty good, but again, this is not the best example because I don't have many breaks in between this rap. So I don't really recommend this particular method if your raps are very like fast paced and you're always saying something. I recommend this method if you want a simpler approach, but your rap has like some space for you to actually do some ad-libs instead of trying to force yourself to fit something in such a small space. So this would not be the best application for this, but just to show you how it would work out. So another thing that I want to note before I get into the last style is auto-tune with raps. I don't know why people put auto-tune on their raps that have no notes. It doesn't make any sense because auto-tune is for tuning notes. And again, I know that doesn't necessarily have to be applied. Like you can apply it to anything. You can apply auto-tune to anything you want to apply it to. But my thing is, when you apply auto-tune to something where you're not singing, it doesn't do anything to your vocals. Versus, let me show you an example. One person that uses auto-tune with their raps very well is Jadena. He raps with a melody. He raps with notes. Travis Scott does the same thing. Don't just slap auto-tune on your raps if you're not actually singing something and going along and ba. Like if you're not actually singing something while you're rapping, like singing with a tone, there's no point to you putting auto-tune on your raps.
My name, calling all night. I can pull the wool while I'm being polite.
On it, all night. I can run about when I'm being polite. Like I can easily sing that if I wanted to. Also, he's rapping it. He's delivering it with a rap style, but he's singing the rap, if that makes sense. He's rapping with notes, with a tone. This is a good example of putting auto-tune to your raps. But if you're just doing something like
I was sleeping on the floor with the oven door open while I dreamt about the places that I would go.
Like he's not singing. He just I run the door open that I that I will go. There's no note to that. He's not singing to the key of the beat. So auto-tune does not match. And in fact, if you throw auto-tune on this, it's probably going to put his notes, his vocals at a weird key in comparison to the track, and it's going to sound like a big giant mess. I mean, you are welcome to do that if you want to. It just does not make sense because auto-tune is not going to do anything. Just something to consider. And then the last style, the last way to do this is to basically record stacks to your rap. So I'm going to use these stacks down here and record some stacks to this. And it's literally the exact same thing as recording vocals. You have your lead rap right here. So that's covering the whole ground for everything, the lead rap. Then you duplicate that if you want the same effects 4 times. You pan 64 and 64 to the right left, and then 32 and 32 to the right and left. This is in GarageBand. If you're in any other DAW, it's going to be 100% and 50%, 100% and 50%. Just remember that. And then you would record whatever parts that you want to get stacked 4 times. I don't recommend record the entire rap and stack the entire rap 4 times. That is way too much, and it kind of takes away from the rap itself. It's not singing, so it doesn't need all that. But when you're recording your raps, so I'll show you an example. I'll just freestyle this as well.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down. Cause how you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down. Cause he
Next one.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah.
And last one.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah.
And then we can listen back to see how it sounds.
These club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house, I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie, I said you know that nigga wanna go down. Cause he was.
Now, I think in this case, it kind of takes away from the storytelling of the rap. So I wouldn't necessarily stack this type of rap. But then there are some cases where you want to have that emphasis, and you can go ahead and do something like this. But it's all on a case-by-case basis. And like I said, you want to make sure that whatever choices you make in your rapping, in your stacking, in your ad-libs, whatever it is, that it doesn't impede the storytelling of the song, that it doesn't counteract the feeling that you're trying to give the song. So in this case, since this is a pure storytelling song, I want the rap to be bare. I want it to be just one voice, boom. This is it. This is what happened. This is how the breakup came to be. I feel like Stax takes away from that. Unless I was singing, which in other parts of the song, it emphasizes those parts that I want to emphasize. But for the rap, this is the nitty grit. Let's get down to the details. And I want people to pay attention to the storytelling in this particular rap. So different choices, different ways to communicate what you're trying to achieve. And you want to just make sure that every choice that you make has a purpose, and every choice that you make is going to be effective for the storytelling that you do, for the presentation of the song that you do. If you are stacking your entire rap and the rap is supposed to be a really smooth rap and laid back, you might be doing too much. Or if you're telling a story and your rap has no breaks in it, like in this song, and you're trying to add ad-libs and stacks and do all this crazy stuff, you might be fighting against yourself. But that's it for today's video. As always, stay legendary. I thank you guys for watching. Yeah, go stream cheat codes. All right, guys. Peace.
Club nights on my Fedrin, ex-demon, waking up in Philippe's house. I got a question, yeah. How you get on that side of town? You told a lie. I said, you know that nigga wanna go down. Cause he was sneaking peeks all up on that Instagram. You couldn't do it sober, so you choked a gram. Probably smoked a gram, probably drank some things. Now I guess I know why you never wore that ring.